Turn it down a little more. You can't hear it that low. Turn it up just a little bit. Okay, you can hear that. That's good. Why are you hitting me? Nothing.
Something.
Nothing. I'm gonna call Mommy D down here to choke you.
Nuh-uh.
Mm-hmm.
Nuh-uh.
Yep.
Uh-uh.
Mm-hmm.
Nuh-uh.
Grab your neck, and you're gonna be like,
Nuh-uh.
I would never choke you.
Yes, you
I would never.
will. Yes, you will.
Never.
Yeah.
All right, keep it low. And when I get ready, I'm gonna need it, okay?
Well, my mommy's gonna pick me up today.
Did I ask you anything about who's gonna pick you up? I do not recall saying, hey, little baby, who picking you up? I said, quite simply, keep it low, and when the time comes, I'm gonna need my phone. So just get ready to give me the phone when I ask for it. Got me? That does not mean yes. Nothing.
Something.
All right, I'm going. Stop it. I'm going live. You gotta act like a nice, gentle child.
I know.
That is not gentle. All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until around 5 o'clock this afternoon. Till around 5 o'clock this afternoon. 513-717-5464. 513-717-5464. That's the number to get on board. Say hi to me. Say hi to me. Tell me who you are. Well, I can see who you are. But hey, good afternoon. What's up? Whatever. And where you checking me out from. All right? Say hi and let me know where you're checking me out from. Carolyn Smith, Anthony, Diane, Scott, Crystal, David, Myosha, Brent, he checking in from Dallas, McConnell, what's up to everyone checking in. Again, my name is Emanuel Livingston. My title is the King of Talk, and I am here. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me check something over here. Let's mute that for the time being. Candy D from Coleraine. What's up, Candy D? Yeah, she's violent towards me. I have to get somebody to get in here and choke her. Let's see. Anthony can't say where he from. He say, "Oh, too many people money." Here, let me see the phone. I gotta look at something. Let me pause this crap you watching. Why you even watching that stuff?
'Cause I can.
That's not a good reason. Let's see.
I can if I want to.
Let's see. I had a few stories that I wanted to talk about. Hold on. Yeah, I think that was Hamilton County. Go back to your thing. Hamilton County, seen increase. Nothing. That ain't even how you laugh. That's not even how you really laugh. Stop.
Yeah.
Hamilton County seeing increased fentanyl overdoses. See, I look up the stories and I save them on my phone, but then this little baby came and she forgot her phone, so she's using my phone. So now I gotta re-look them back up here. Hamilton County seeing increased overdoses in the area, possibly linked to fentanyl. Yeah, the Hamilton County Public Health Office released statistics Thursday about recent overdoses in the area. They They say there have been some abnormal changes in overdose related activity since September 30th. Health officials believe increased number of overdoses may be attributed to high levels of fentanyl in the drug supply. According to this report, from Saturday, September 30th to Wednesday, October 5th, there were 16 preliminary overdose deaths in the area. 16 overdose deaths between Saturday, the 30th, and Wednesday, the 5th. That's a lot of. Is it just me? But is that a lot of people dying from overdose? Look. And I don't know how many of y'all, and I don't know how many people are going to watch this at some point in the future. First, I think we all grown. We all grown. But I would say, don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Like, is the risk really worth it? And yeah, I'm even talking about some of y'all's weed. Is the risk really worth it? You get a little fentanyl, and that could be it. That could be it. And I'm telling you, it is devastating families. Now, y'all know my position for a while was, that's what they doing. They grown. Let them do whatever they want to do to themselves. But when you think about, they're leaving people behind. There are families that are devastated because they lost a loved one. And, they didn't even know their loved one was experimenting with drugs. They thought maybe they had a drinking problem, and they thought maybe, but they didn't know. They get, a little bad coke, a little bad crack. There's no good crack in spite of what Jimmy the Vet might want you to believe. They get a little, when I say bad, tainted with high levels of, in this case, fentanyl. That'll kill you. And Ross is saying, I don't know, where is it? Where'd it go? Not from weed. They can put fentanyl in weed or on weed. I don't know how all of that stuff works. They mix it up together. I don't know. I don't know how any of that stuff works, but I know you can die from smoking weed laced with fentanyl. And is it worth it? Is it worth it? I mean, if you're not straight up growing your own stuff, and doing whatever it is that one does to consume it, you don't know what's in it. Crystal says, hello. Checking in from Forest Park. All right. Ross wants to know, what's bad crack? You know what I meant. It's tainted with something that will, not that crack won't kill you, but you put some fentanyl in it, and the same amount of crack that you used to smoke, Ross. Okay, Ross, imagine you smoking some crack. I imagine it's easy for you to imagine that. So you smoking some crack. You go to your regular old crack dealer and you get what you think is your normal amount of crack to smoke. But it's some fentanyl in there. So you smoking, Ross, your normal amount of daily crack. Whatever your, regular daily crack intake is. But this time, it's got fentanyl in it, and it mess you up. You overdose, possibly die. You had no idea that there was fentanyl in your regular, everyday crack. Now your family, seriously, Now, your family who might have knew you had a drug problem, but they figured, Ross been doing crack long enough that he got an idea how much he can smoke and how much he can't smoke. They didn't know you was going to get some crack tainted with fentanyl. Now your mom's, if your mom's still alive, I don't know. Your mom's got to do funeral arrangements for you. Your brothers and sisters, it's like, what happened? The people that you normally smoke crack with, but he knew how to smoke crack. I mean, he's a seasoned crack smoker. So they're shocked. All I'm really saying is, hey, they putting fentanyl in stuff. And it'll kill you. It will kill you. For recreational and experimental drug users. You gotta be aware of this. Diane says, I never smoked weed, but I sure wouldn't do it now. No telling what it's laced with. Exactly. Scott says, it's in weed. A guy overdosed from it. Yeah. David says, the fentanyl-laced Halloween candy is frightening. Oh, you know what, David? I hadn't even thought about that. Because, again, they showed some bust. This might have been a month ago, if that, where they had the little pills, and they looked like sweet tarts. They were colorful, a little dull, so they didn't quite look like a Skittle, but about like a sweet tart. And I'm thinking, if somebody get that, their child gets that. And I know everybody, oh, you got to check your kids' candy before you give it to them, blah, 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 because we are coming up on that season. It ain't always that simple. I remember once I got old enough to branch off on my own and go trick-or-treating, but nobody there to check my candy. And throughout the night, as we were trick-or-treating, we was going in eating stuff. And I could have said, like, hey, this is a big sweet tart. And next thing you know, I'm overdosed. I don't know necessarily what the answer is to that. I don't know what the answer is to that. But just be careful. Just be careful. Now Ross is upset. What's in those cookies and cakes? I hope not fentanyl. I haven't heard of people overdosing on fentanyl from eating cookies and cake. But I have heard of people overdosing on fentanyl from taking regular recreational drugs and experimental drugs. I've heard of that. Ross says he ain't had no bad weed in 36 years. Okay, so everybody except Ross. Be careful. Janice says, get high off of life. Yeah. And this is going to sound like, I'm being all high and mighty or whatever. I'm not trying to be. It's just a natural state for me. But what I'm about to say is not meant to elevate me more than anybody else. I don't understand drugs and alcohol anyway. Again, because I tried weed once when I was really little. And I was high. And I didn't like it. I've never been drunk. I drank a Bartles and James once. Knocked me clean out. And I drank a whole one. I was, about 24-ish. Knocked me clean out. I don't know what people get from this. I don't know what people get from this. So from my perspective, I don't understand why y'all doing recreational drugs anyway. We take the edge off. I don't know what that means. Oh, I need to drink a bottle of wine to relax. I don't understand that. If I want to relax, I just say, and I relax. That's just me. I'm not judging you because you can't relax without wine. I'm not judging you because you can't mellow out without weed. I'm not judging you because you can't have fun without, what do people take for fun? Molly, ecstasy, whatever. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying I don't understand it. I don't understand any of that. So for me, it's easy to say. It's easy to say, oh, just don't do drugs, because I don't do them. But it's something you might want to consider, especially now in Hamilton County. They're saying, this is not me saying it. This is Hamilton County in Ohio. They're saying there's some abnormal activity and that fentanyl levels in stuff is elevated. So just be careful. Just be careful. Angela says it's everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. Myosha says laced Halloween candy. These kids can't have no fun. You gotta be, I would be very careful this year. Even with like your teenagers, which sound weird. But I think I trick-or-treated until I was like 16. I was still, because I was a little 16-year-old, so I could pass for one of the younger kids. Trick-or-treat. Give me some candy. But even with your younger teenagers, just be careful. Kenny Smith says, on a more serious note, they are effing up the weed. I wasn't trying to be funny when I said it. I was serious, even with the weed. Even with the weed. Nat said he remember when he was young. Diane says a bunch of sugar in cookies and cakes. But to my knowledge, I haven't found any, seen any reports of fentanyl in there and, people overdosing and dying. So that's that. Ben says, what's the topic? In Hamilton County, since September 30th, between September 30th and October 5th, there were, 15 or 16 overdose deaths in the area. And so they are, what are they calling it? Emergency. They're what? How do you do that? They're calling an emergency. They're whatever. There's an emergency. We are in an emergency situation in Hamilton County. LaDonna says, they said that's what killed Prince. That is what they said. McConnell says, only take a little bit to kill a child. Hope parents be careful this Halloween. Yeah. Ross says that pink shirt got you high. You can't tell your colors or something. This is clearly red and white. Jason says, oh no. Here come the you think you better than me and your uppity comments. I didn't say I was better than anybody. Yeah, Bartles and James. Yeah, Bartles and James. Myosha says she drink wine because it tastes good, not to relax. Okay. Some people drink it to relax. I wasn't specifically talking about you. Even though I do think that you've shared that some nights you go home and drink like 2 whole bottles of wine. But I wasn't talking about you. Janice says, I'm with you on that, man. I don't want anything to be in control of my nervous system. A clear mind is the best high. Yeah. Lee Zellers says Post Malone, I don't know who Post Malone is, said he smoked weed up until it went bad. He said it had something in it. Look up the story. All right. First, I have to look up who Post Malone is. Excuse me. You could sell your pee. I could probably sell my pee either way. It is royal pee. Let me see. Diane says she like a glass of Moscato every now and then. Again, that's why I wasn't trying to judge anybody. I was just saying I don't understand it. Not that I have a problem with it. I don't understand it. You do what you do. You do what you do. McConnell says all liquor make you loose as a goose. Sierra. Hello, Sierra. Let me see. Nat says more people dying from bad food choices than weed. I'm not sure. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Just don't. Ben says they got to close that border up. I'm not buying this whole border thing. Look, they could stop drugs getting across the border if they wanted to. They could stop drugs getting across the border if they wanted to. They don't want to. They don't want to. Now, I've never really thought it all the way through. Never really thought it all the way through. But there is something about having a great number of people intoxicated on some substance for a reason. There's a something behind that. I like to think clear-headed people think clearer. And they don't want people really sitting back and thinking about stuff and like just your regular run-of-the-mill. Because, a lot of people who listen to talk and podcasts and all of that kind of stuff are thinking people. But it's not a whole lot. And it's a lot, but it's not a whole lot. But that's why they're programming people. Like how that conservative right and all of that kind of stuff, they got those people's ears and they're, feeding them a whole lot of BS. But you think about the number of people who are completely, totally uninformed. They like that. And then, give you some drugs and keep you that way. You don't begin to think, how can I get out of this situation? And this is just me kind of thinking out loud. But I imagine if you in your life are in a bad situation and, you're constantly medicating yourself, that's less time to think, why am I in this situation? And how do I get out? Because there's a lot of reasons, but there has to be an underclass. And they needed to stay that way. I mean, it's like, okay, I'm going a little off topic. Actually, probably a lot off topic. I read another story where a rapper got shot and killed, I believe in another robbery. Another rapper was shot and killed in a robbery. Emanuel, what does that have to do with drugs and stuff? Hold on a second. And I would think that if I was a rapper, my tone, the stuff I rap about, and the audience that I'm trying to attract would change from the audience that's robbing and killing rappers. The audience that's beefing with and killing rappers. You know what I'm saying? If it were me, I'm like, wait a minute, just by the very nature of what I do, I got people wanting to rob and kill me. What am I saying? What message am I putting out here to the people that ingest these messages? That's making people think it's okay to shoot people, kill people, take their stuff. Let me not attract that audience. And either if I can't do a little something different, I will have to quit. I'm out the game. What, you out the game? Yeah, I ain't trying to get murdered. So I don't understand the mindset of the people who just stay in that situation and keep themselves in that kind of risk. I would be rapping about, if I'm a rapper, I'd be rapping about nonviolence. That'd be like, that's the nonviolent rapper dude. So all of the dudes running around robbing people would be like, I don't want to listen to his weak stuff. I want to listen to that rapper that's talking about get a gun and shooting people up and rolling up on people and all of that kind of stuff. I don't even know what they say no more, any of the current terminologies. I don't know them because I don't pay much attention anymore. I know it's out there. I hear it sometimes when I'm riding down the street and somebody got their car stereo up really loud and you can hear the lyrics and they killing people. And somebody said something and so somebody took somebody's jewelry and they killed him. Somebody, whatever. They still killing people in rap. I mean, in the actual song, they're still rapping about killing people. And I would think at some point you'd be like, you know what? I'm not going to be that rapper. I'm not going to be that rapper. But they still doing it. And to kind of maybe try to bridge that, if you find yourself in a situation and that situation seems less than advantageous for you, doing things to make you feel better in that situation might not necessarily be the best thing, as opposed to thinking, how do I get out of the situation? Again, I know that's much easier said than done. But all of this going back to, well, they need to close the border. They don't want to close the border to drugs. Drugs serve a purpose here. For the rich and the powerful, I mean, for them, it serves probably a dual purpose. Number one, it's something entertaining to do. And then number two, it helped keep them people medicated so they don't think about how bad we screwing them over. But that's just me thinking out loud. Janice says, drug addiction is a form of slavery. The one selling the drug is the slave owner. He or she can make the drug addicts do whatever they want them to do for drugs. All right. Pamela says, would that be like gospel rap? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean, we had rap back in the day. I'm sure it still exists. There are rap that they not talking about killing people. They talk about partying. They talk about aspirational things. They try to, in a less destructive way, shine the light on what's going on in society. Just talk about fun. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl that, you know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. It's just fun stuff to listen to. So it don't have to be gospel rap, you know what I'm saying, to be positive, to not be talking about shooting people, killing people. Anthony said, if you don't have some real heavy hitters in your corner everybody knows about, don't be out here pretending you run these streets. And Kenny says it's the labels knocking off their artists. Insurance money is lovely. I don't know about that. These rappers out here move very sloppy. No security, places where they shouldn't be without security. I don't know about Roscoe's. You know what I'm saying? I would like to think you wouldn't necessarily need security to go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. I wonder if Keith Sweat had those kind of issues. You know what I'm saying? He just be sitting around thinking, I want some Roscoe's, and you know what I'm saying? I need security. I need security. No, in my mind, Keith Sweat, his biggest concern might be, 50-plus-year-old chicks trying to swamp him now. Getting away from the big girls and the old ladies at Roscoe's, as opposed to, there's Keith Sweat, let's rob him. Ain't nobody thinking about that. Because his music wasn't that kind of music. It didn't attract that kind of crowd. Brent says, I don't think DJ Easy Rock and Rob Bass talked about killing folks. No, I don't think they did. I don't think they did. Let's see. Keith Sweat sing about Roscoe's. In my mind, that's what Keith Sweat say when he wants some Roscoe's. In my mind. Brent said Keith Sweat. That's right. You spelled it right. I'm glad. Keith Sweat needs security to keep them healthy women from jumping in his arms. He ain't no 30-year-old no more. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Nat says, I hear you. I don't listen to those new rappers, but I was bumping groups like NWA, Too Short, and Mobb Deep back in the day, along with PEX Clan and Poor Righteous Teachers. I'll be honest. I was sorta, not too much. I believe I was never a Too Short fan. Not Mobb Deep either. NWA, I did listen to them, but they stuff was more, and I know this is the way I perceived it. Like, after Police, I felt that with my whole heart. Parts of it. I felt that with my whole heart. The other parts just seemed like guys telling a story. You know what I'm saying? It didn't seem or feel real. We actually, first time me and my cousins listened to it, we were laughing. Like, these dudes is crazy. These dudes is crazy. And, some of the lines and stuff were comedic to us. We didn't feel like they were actually rapping about things that they did. But I guess when you think about it, that translates or, over time into, yeah, go out and do this stuff. This stuff is cool. I don't know. There's something to it. There's something to it. There's something to it. Let's see. Ben says, here you go. You back in deep water conversations today. I don't know what that means. Ross says, this ninja is from outer space. Why do you say that, sir? Brent says, I blame Too Short for bringing grammatically illiterate, non-rhyming rap to the black community. I was never a big Too Short fan, so I can't say yes or no that was what he was doing. I can't say. I need to see that again. You should have paused it. That way you could stay where you was at. Hold on. I got to go back and look up my stuff again. You're making this hard for me. Okay, no. Okay, that one. Apparently there's a lot of pedestrians getting hit. Apparently, there's a lot of pedestrians getting hit, and 4 people shot on the same street in Avondale within 12 hours. That was something that I saw. Uh, this particular story that I saw, I'm trying to read all of these stories off. Hopefully, y'all remember and tell me what they are so I can give her back this phone. A Northern Kentucky car dealership owner indicted on human trafficking charges. And a tri-state family discovers healthcare aide allegedly stealing from aging mother. And then I have this story about Tom Brady in here, but that's a slightly different conversation. Here, well, baby. That's a slightly different conversation. The one that I remember. What? No, hold on. Let me. 4 people. 4 people shot in Avondale on the same street within stop it. Just do what I asked you to do. Within 12 hours. 4 people were shot in the span of 12 hours on the same street in Avondale. Cincinnati police are searching for a suspect after a Monday night shooting. I don't know who this story about. Christian LeDuc and Jessica Hart. Hope I didn't butcher your name. On WCPO. Investigators said, Cincinnati police are searching for a suspect after a Monday night shooting near the intersection of Reading Road and Carpland Place left 3 people injured. Police said this was part of an aggravated burglary. Investigators said all 3 victims were taken to UC Medical Center just a few blocks away. They have non-life-threatening injuries, and about 12 hours later, there was another shooting at the intersection of Alameda and Carpland Place. CPT Sergeant Anthony Mitchell said one woman was shot and brought to the hospital. He noted her injuries are also life-threatening or non-life-threatening. Now, just for the record, I do not believe that this violence and stuff that people are seeing all over the United States, this might sound ridiculous, but I don't think it's necessary. It's partially, but I don't think this is just, it's too many guns. I don't think that's the case. I'll be honest, as much as we talk about violence being bad, people really like violence. As much as we talk about anger management and all of that kind of stuff, people really do like violence. If I was sitting on here and, every time Ross or Ben said something that I didn't like, I threatened to beat their A, people would be down with that. If people running around getting into physical altercations, people would be down with that. People like violence. Where's all the violence coming from? I wonder, did they watch violent movies and listen to violent rap and play violent video games? I heard a 78-year-old man talk about getting into a fight with another 78-year-old man. Proudly. Did they play violent video games when they was little? No, they didn't even have violent video games. They just people. And people, that's how a lot of people were told that's how you solve problems. You fight. That's how you solve problems. You fight. Now, some of the older people like to say, well, you fight with your hands, and somehow that's better violence. But it's not. I don't understand how you can necessarily preach, don't be violent, and then be proud of the fact that you was just violent a couple weeks ago. And actively tell people, go be violent in a different violent way. There is no consistent don't be violent message. I can't say there is none. I'm certain there is. But people like violence. And I think, of course, guns make being violent much more convenient, easy, maybe less dangerous if you choose to be the violent person, because you can shoot somebody from a far ways away, or at least you can try to shoot somebody from a far ways away while you're moving. Pamela says they play violent checker games and listen to bad records on the Victoria record player. Yeah, some of these same people. Like, oh, why are these young people so violent? We got to do something about violence. It's the video games. It's the video game. You know, it's not the video games. Oh, let me go to the phone. CK.
Emanuel Livingston, praise the Lord.
Word.
You on fire today.
Oh.
You on fire today. Like you said, you keeping them off, what you said, complete abstinence from drugs and alcohol.
That'd be safer.
I mean, you killed them. Remember what you said. A clear mind is a beautiful mind, because you're medicating yourself to come back to the same problem. The problem not going nowhere. Like you said, we got to have this clear mind to get together so we can become millionaires together.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
I do.
And like you said, and that's why I was trying to tell you, like with the Cosby situation, that was just showing you, look how many people judge my whole character just based on an opinion, because they need a reason to hate. You know what I mean? They can't just accept, okay, I agree to disagree. No, they judge who you are. I
don't know that Cosby is a good example of that. He was
raping people. No, I'm saying, okay.
But yeah.
No, I'm saying it's a perfect example, because look how many people judge me just based on that alone. They don't care that I defended Tracy Hunter. They don't care that I defend Roger Ormsby. It's the celebrity worship aspect of it of, oh, that's who that guy is. You could call him, oh, that's the guy that defends Tracy Hunter. No, but we're going to label him by the guy we worship. Because like you said, it don't matter if he's 100% not guilty. It doesn't matter. The stuff you're talking about now matters, about keeping the people off of drugs and alcohol. That's just a frivolous case about a celebrity. Nobody knows anybody in it. Well, what if people took the same energy that they had in the Cosby case and talked about who molested them, who raped them? They don't want to drop them names, but since this guy got a name, okay, let's talk about this guy and act like I'm a rape advocate. But if you was truly a rape advocate, you would talk about the people who rape people in your family. You wouldn't just use a celebrity Hollywood name. I'm just saying it.
I'm not really following you on the Cosby thing. I understand the people who have issues with people defending rapists because they're famous. That makes perfect sense to me, that people wouldn't like that. And it does have more broader reach than just Bill Cosby. If you make rape okay by Bill Cosby, then you make rape okay.
It's different. Listen what you're saying. You're saying different. It's different if the person doesn't believe he's guilty. It's different if a person says, yeah, I think he's right, but hey, he makes great shows. Then that's defending rapists. But if a person doesn't believe he's guilty of the crime, he's not defending rape. He's defending somebody he doesn't think is guilty. So I'm saying you would use that. So why the same energy didn't come when you defend Tracy Hunter? Why they don't identify you as that?
Well, Tracy Hunter
how does Tracy Hunter get?
I don't understand the comparisons that you're drawing.
The
Tracy,
comparison is this: you're using what you don't agree. You could use the same thing you agree. Okay, me and you agree on the Tracy Hunter case
Okay.
that she was innocent. Okay, so but when people identify, they don't identify me as wow. That's the guy that identified that agrees with Emanuel that Tracy was not guilty. No, only thing they go to is the negative, and so I'm saying that's the beginning of the violence. They don't just, you could respect that. Nah, I think he's guilty, CK. Oh, nah, well, CK thinks he's not guilty. You're making it like, nah, he thinks he's guilty. He's just defending somebody he thinks is guilty of brutal crime.
I'll be honest. I'm still not 100% following you, but
Yes, because
okay.
like I said, you need to identify, you need to have something. You don't want to look at the positive aspects of a person. That's the beginning of violence. Because you don't want to say, well, damn, it's a lot of things I agree with them on, it's a lot of things I don't agree with them on. You know what I mean? That's why, like you said, when you talk about real cases like this, sobriety, staying away from drugs, staying away from alcohol, because these are facts that affect everyone.
Okay, hold on. Let's do this. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this. Because I'm sufficiently confused. So let's take the whole Cosby thing and completely throw that out. Let's not even mention Bill Cosby raping people. All right? Let's throw that out because I don't know if that's confusing anybody else, but it sure as heck is confusing me, and I'm completely losing your point because all I keep hearing you do is, defending Cosby raping people. So let's not even talk about that.
No, that's what I'm saying. Hold on, listen to what you just said. Hold on, listen to what you just said. Words me said defend. I never said that. You said I'm defending him raping people. That is a lie. When have I ever defended him rape? I'm saying I don't think he raped people. So that's to make that clear. Stop trying to slide that in. It's defending him raping people. Be like, yeah, he raped people, but hey, he makes great shows. That's defending him rape. If you're saying he's not guilty of the crime, that's just a difference of opinion. There you go.
Even though he admitted to doing it, but let's not even get into those weeds. Let's not get it. So let's just take Cosby and throw him out.
Right. Okay. All I'm saying is, we're using the negative aspects. Why don't we look at each other remember I said respect each other's opinion. You can't just make somebody's opinion what you think it is. I'm telling you what I think. Like you said, we taking that name out. But if I'm saying, no, I think this person didn't do that, and you think the person did do that, that's two different aspects. I'm saying let's stay clear of what we are fighting against, the drugs and the alcohol. We are together. We got to stop trying to tear each other's character down. We're invested in tearing each other down.
Okay. I'm following you now. Let's not tear each other's character down. I'm not exactly sure how that ties into the drugs and alcohol, so help me.
That's the whole, no, I'm saying as far as the drugs and alcohol is, we are all fighting for a great cause. So I'm saying when you saying sobriety, the point that you made about, okay, we are not supposed to try to drown our pain or our depression away with drugs. Because, and now when you said from October 5th to September 1st, there's 16 deaths. Remember?
September 30th to October 5th, 16 deaths.
In 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. We can eradicate these things. We just got to get on the same page. My whole point is, let's stop letting these frivolous things tear us apart, because we're letting the petty things that don't even mean nothing to nobody tear us apart. I'm saying we all are fighting for the same thing. We're talking about the kids staying off of drugs, kids staying off alcohol. Yeah. I'm just saying, don't try to make something out because you disagree with a person. You want to switch it up to something else. And I can't be more clear to you. Okay, you think the Bengals gonna win the Super Bowl? I think the Raiders gonna win it. That don't mean, okay, oh well, you must have voted for Trump. See, that's the thing we do. We do to each other. We try to tear down. Oh, you must be that type of person. And this the route you go a lot of times when you soon as you disagree, you go to your number one slogan. Oh, you must have voted for Trump because of your
Hold on. No, I only go to that if you're talking like if we're bringing up the fact that Donald Trump told a lie that is clearly a lie. Like you got him on video saying 2 + 2 is 5, and he say I never said 2 + 2 is 5, and I can play you the video, and you say, well, I don't believe he said it, but you just watch the video of him saying it. No, I don't believe he said it. You voted for him. If you just you're gonna be on his team even when it's demonstrably proven, like beyond a shadow of a doubt, when you can demonstrate with pure, undisputed evidence that what the man said ain't true, but you still 100% on his team, then I'll be like, yeah, no, you voted for Trump. If you're using Trumpian logic, which is like anti-logic, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, you probably voted for Trump. That's the only time I really go for that, when it only makes sense that that's what you did.
And the times when you're not being sincere is when you have asked that question multiple times and the answer never changed, because you know who you didn't talk to me enough where I told you they're both gang members. They're both Bloods and Crips. I have no respect for either one. So every time you ask me the same question, now I know you're being devious, where he's asking a question he know the answer to, but he's trying to sway people to believe a logic on a certain subject. Because he knows I didn't vote for Trump because I done told him 50 times. But whenever
CK, just because you said, like, if you are using Trump talking points, and then I'm like, hold on, did you vote for Trump? And you're like, well, no, I didn't vote for Trump. But then you go back to, but we need to make America great again. I'm like, hold on, bruh, hold on.
And that's not me. I never used it correctly.
I'm not saying that particular phrase, but using that same Trumpian logic, then I'll be like, hold on, are you sure that you didn't vote for Trump? Because it sure sound like a Trump voter in there. That's all
I just think that a lot of times you eliminate people that's on your team with the frivolous subjects where we're all on the same page of stopping the violence, stopping the drugs, right? Getting education. You know my slogan: put God first, have faith in the youth. Education is the only way to the truth. So I think as Americans, we sometimes be too petty, and we use the smallest thing to try to turn the audience against one person when we're on the same. I'm your number one fan. You talk to me all the time. So I'm like, why would he think I'm against him? But when you bring up Trump, like, did you vote for Trump? I'm like, damn. So I know he's not on my team. He's not intellectual enough to know I don't give a damn about no Trump.
I'm not even sure what we're talking about now.
In the debate.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's like me telling you that when you say that, it's like me telling you that you voted for Trump.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
All right.
But look, I just want you to keep the message going, because it's when you're talking about the rap songs about making nonviolent music.
Okay.
That's where it's at.
Okay.
You make the nonviolent music. You see, the most successful people did do that, and now we just in the drill music. It's like kill. We in to kill each other. It's like, that's why I was trying to tell you, we be hating each other more than anybody else through the music, even at a young age. We can't even go to school without, oh, you got some bootleg clothes on. That's black culture.
That's not black culture. That's not black culture. Don't put that on black people. It's not. I've gone to school with white people, and white people, classism exists even with white people. Why are you wearing that brand? Why are you not wearing this brand? Why are you wearing that style? Why are you not wearing this style? That is not black culture. That's just.
So you're saying black people, just like your show yesterday, you said all those people they want to get you. You're not talking about how much they love to get you fired, how they love to get you terminated, so you could be out. They want to see you hurting. You said those are black people doing that to you. How many white people called and tried to get you fired?
I brought up white people who called and tried to get me fired too.
Is it more than the blacks?
Well, no, it wasn't.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, what's the point? You defending the people that's trying to destroy you.
No,
saying,
I'm not. Here's what I'm defending. When this always bothers me. When people look at something, a negative thing, and because you've experienced it with black people, doesn't make it a black people thing. Like, okay, yeah, a lot of black people came for me and came for my job, but I couldn't say that's a black people thing because there are white people who go after white people's jobs. Now, of course, look, and this is just the fact of the matter. People typically, if you live in a community with 100% black people next to a community with some white people in it, if crime is going to happen to you, more than likely it's going to happen to you from a black person because that's who you live around. If you live in a white community with nothing but white people and next to it is a few black people, chances are if you're going to be a victim of a crime, it's going to be one of those white people. So to say, well, crime is black people hate black people because black people attack black people. White people attack white people. It's not a black person thing. Like, I always hear people, all this negative stuff, black people, the more negative than no. Black people, black people are people.
Are celebrating each other's death. I don't see white people going around celebrating. You can look at the internet and see how much we'll celebrate your mama dying. We'll celebrate your kids dying. We doing this every day.
White people do it every day as well. I bet you if you lived in an Asian community, you would hear Asian people doing it. If you lived in a community that was nothing but Samoans, you would hear Samoans do it. If you lived in a Viking community, them Vikings would be out there with their horn hats on, celebrating the same stuff. People are people. Black people are not worse than anybody else. People are people.
We suffer from the crab in the barrel. We don't like to hurt each other more than white people like to hurt us.
No.
And what I'm saying, you are ignorant to some of reality where people
CK,
are
I'm not saying that there aren't. I really need to get this idea because you're not the only one who believes this. I need this idea out of y'all heads that black people are bad people as a whole. All right, CK.
I'm getting attacked by my own. If I share opinion with a white person, they can say, okay, I can agree to disagree. But when you attack with a black person, they want to judge you based on that one opinion. Oh, you must not be real because you believe that. You must be this because no. But when it comes to black, you want to tell, oh, I can't mess with that dude because he believes that. No, you don't get. I get that. I'm telling you from personal experience. And this is dealing with black people and white people.
CK, listen. White people do the same thing. It's not all white people that do it, just like it's not all black people that do it. There are some white people who are so deeply entrenched in what they believe that they can't be friends with somebody who don't share whatever that particular point of view that kind of triggers them. So if you don't share my point of view, we can't be cool, we can't be friends, you can't work for me, you can't work with me, all of that kind of stuff. You're a horrible person. It happens in the white community as well as the black. Black people are not worse than anybody else.
I'm not saying they're worse.
You're absolutely saying that.
No. Listen what I'm saying. No, you said that. Let me explain that's another thing. You want to talk for me because you can't explain for me. I'm saying we're more entrenched. That's what I just told you. I do agree that yes, but I said we're deeply rooted into it.
We're not. But that's just it. We're not. That's you saying it. We are not more deeply rooted into it. We're all rooted into it.
But I'm saying you can't. So can you be friends with a Republican?
I'm pretty sure I probably got some Republican friends, but if they start espousing nonsense, then probably not. That'll probably ruin our friendship.
That's what I'm saying. And all I'm trying to say, the deficiency with that is it might be a great person. What if just because you're a Democrat, you could be a lousy person. Just because you're a Republican, it could be either way. But CK,
that's why I said I probably got some friends who are Republicans, but if they start spouting off that nonsense, and when I say that nonsense, I mean like racism and stuff like that, which is, if you ask me, a heavily Republican trait. If they start spouting off hateful Republican stuff, they're probably not going to be my friend no more.
It's just like, okay, and the way I look at that is just like a Steelers fan and a Bengals fan. This is just how we feel about this subject. But when we get on other things, we have things in common. But I'm not going to just let
it all depends on the issue, CK. It all depends on the issue. Look, you can love the Steelers and I love the Bengals, and we can have all of these wonderful things even in common. You like cake, I like cake. You like cookies, I like cookies. You like Fords, I like Fords. You like this, I like this. You believe black people should still be slaves. Whoa. Hold on, I don't care about all the other stuff that we agree on. And you can bring me all the cookies and cakes and Ford that you want to, but you think I should be a slave. I'm sorry, that's enough for us to part ways. With all of our similarities, that difference is a big enough difference for me to say, bro, we can't be friends.
And the last thing I'm going to leave you with, sir, because you made a great point right there. I just want to say, just because we disagree on something don't mean I might think, that don't mean I'm justifying the act. I'm thinking that they are innocent of that. I don't think. Now, it's different. I would understand you totally if I was like, I don't care about what the act was. I like this guy regardless. But if I'm telling you, no, I don't think they are guilty of what you accuse them of, I'm saying, now that's okay. Then that's respect. But don't say it like, oh, you down with the guilty.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying, I don't believe that they are guilty of what you think. You think he's guilty. I think he's not guilty. It's just simple as that. But when you tell your audience, you be like, well, he defends somebody he thinks is guilty. Okay. That's a whole. Now you're not being honest. That's all I'm saying. He's still fighting for justice. He just thinks they disagree on certain parts.
I'm gonna say this. I appreciate your call. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna hang up. Look,
yes, sir.
If you tell me, my white friend tell me, I believe black people should still be slaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I come out and start defending them and say, I don't think that he think black people should still be slaves. Hold on, but he said it. He said it openly. He swore to it. He swears that he said that black people should still be slaves. But I'm defending him because I'm saying I don't think that's what he think.
Yeah, you're right. Now you got
and
me.
That's you. Exactly. That's you
right.
Because he clearly admitted to doing it.
Yep, just like the Central Park 5 admitted to doing it, even though they were in it.
And see, there you go. Thank you for your call, CK. All right. He is not, I don't know how we got back to Bill Cosby. I thought we left Bill Cosby. I don't know how Bill Cosby got injected into the conversation at all. But then I thought we got rid of him. But then it came back to Bill Cosby. I don't know where this came from. And then even at the end, and that's why I be saying he's like a Trump supporter. Not that you support Trump, but all the proof, facts, evidence, video, sworn testimony in the world ain't gonna change your mind. I can put it right in front of your face. Donald Trump said this. And those Trump supporters would be like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Play on the video. This is Donald Trump saying it. Well, I don't believe that. It's a deep fake news. No matter what, I don't believe he said it. No matter what. And that's him with Cosby. I don't know why. I don't know what is the hold that Bill Cosby got on that man. And how do almost everything come to Cosby? We wasn't talking about Cosby. I don't believe he did it. He admitted it. The Central Park 5. Like, oh my God, come on. Come on, dude. But anyway. I understood. Huh? Okay, have fun. Cover your neck. so you don't get choked. Nobody chokes her, except for me. But I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But in terms of, there are certain issues. Like I said, we can walk together on a whole lot of things. But if I find out that certain thing about you, no, we can't be friends no more. Sorry. We can't be friends no more. I think that's valid. Depending on what the issue is. If it's something insignificant, then all right, maybe, you going a little overboard. But if it's something significant that, to me is a kind of a character defining thing, that'll split up our friendship. That'll split up our friendship. Yeah, but all the stuff that we got in common don't make up for that. I think everybody should kind of have a line. Yeah, I guess it's up to you to determine where that line is.
I'm hopping in the shower. She's upstairs by herself. And then after that, I'm leaving. I
Okay.
her to come tell you so that you would know and wouldn't think that she's with me when she's not.
Okay.
I'll wave at you when I'm leaving.
We should all have a line where, I'm sorry, if you cross that line, we can't be friends no more. I think racism should be that. Don't you think if more white people said, hey, look, the good white people, if they said, hey, look, if you use the N-word around me, we got a problem. Things might be better. If more of these, and I'm not saying it's all young black men, but if more of these young black men that are out here harming one another said, look, we can do whatever we want to do. We can say whatever we want to say. But if you're talking about killing somebody, I can't roll with you on that, bruh. We can't kick it. I've said it before in terms of domestic violence. There should be a line. If you my friend and I find out you smacking your wife around, we can't be cool. Say, but man, we've been friends for 30 years. We've been kicking it forever. So what? I smack her around every once in a while. No. I don't care if we shared drawers back in the day. You're smacking your wife around. We can't be friends. I think we all need a line that we say, in order for you to be a part of my sphere of influence, in order for you to be inside this sphere, we got some standards in here. And if you can't adhere to those standards, then you make a decision what those standards are. But if you can't adhere to these standards in here, you can't be in here. Get out. And once you check yourself, and I believe that there's been some serious change, you done went to counseling, you don't smack your wife around no more. You now realize that domestic violence is wrong, bad, evil. You've decided you ain't gonna ever do it again, and you staying there in counseling. Okay, we might be able to mend this relationship. I think that's reasonable. So yeah, CK, the point of, hey, CK believe this and CK believe that. CK feel this way, and I agree with CK on this and on that. But then CK, you say you not, but a lot of us perceive it that way. CK defend rapists. It's like, whoa, hold on. You need to change that perspective. But I'm not defending rapists, Emanuel. I'm saying I don't believe he did it, but he said he did it. And so your lack of belief that he did it leads us to believe that no matter what he say, you're going to defend him because you really think that the act itself is okay. If that make any sense. Dee Dee say white folk don't care about the dang N-word. I didn't say that they did. I said if, and I was just using the N-word to kind of encapsulate racism. Y'all remember, I can't remember who he was. I can't remember his name. He was a writer for the Cincinnati Enquirer. He was their editorial writer. And he swears up and down that he was at, I want to say it was the Kenwood Country Club, and he saw racism. He didn't stop the racism. He didn't speak out against the racism. And he wouldn't say who the racist was. Or even, I don't think he would even define what the racist act was. But he wrote that he saw it. And in his mind, hey, that was because he was friends with the racist. He didn't stop being friends with the racist. And if white people would say, look, if you're a racist, we can't kick it. It'll be a lot less racism. Because they would realize that little secret stuff, behind the scenes and all that stuff, don't work. People ain't standing for that. So that's what I'm not saying that white people care about the N-word. I was just suggesting what I just said. Janice says, I'm with you on the moral issue, man. That's why I still like you due to our disagreements. Thank you, Janice. Whoever that was, he looked like he saw a ghost. No, that was Mrs. Livingston. She was giving me some information. About the little baby. Anthony says, if he doesn't think Bill Cosby is guilty, does he believe Harvey or the fat Orange Don is? Somebody went, when I was talking to CK, somebody said, turn his phone down because it's crackling. That wasn't on my end. Believe it or not, I kind of had his phone down kind of low. It was just crackling coming in. If you call me on a bad phone and you got your mouth all in it, that's how it's going to sound no matter how low I turn it down. So that was what that was. But I appreciated the information about the call quality. Let me see. If you my friend and I found out you were choking a little baby, we can't be friends. Oh. Anthony say, you can't stop being friends just because they might have raped a few people. Right. Hey, what? He rapes people? We're still cool. No, not at all. Let me see. If it was up to you, Black, Livingston, the Central Park 5 would still be incarcerated. They admitted to doing the crime. This is why white people had to get them out. Oh, okay. Is that UCK? Did you change your name? Is that what happened? You changed your name? Oh, my goodness. Totally different situation. White people do clutch their pearls if someone calls them, see you next Tuesday. I'm sure that means something. That's like some cold stuff that I don't know nothing about. I don't know what that means. Let me see. CK on the verge of putting hands on you. He's anti-violence. I'm not worried about that. And man, you're also talking about the white people on Facebook Live who be lurking in the virtual bushes. Yeah, some of them on here. R. Wash said, you definitely feel superior to CK. No, I don't. I don't. We don't agree on some things. We don't agree on some things, but no, I'm not superior to him. Oh, there was something else. Something else. Oh, I had the lady who sicked the dog on the kids. The lady who sicked the dog on the kids. That's horrible. There's no defense for that. Now, of course, she says, I didn't sick the dogs on them. They just got out. They just got out. Hold on. You claim to have gone to school with white people, but don't know what a see you next Tuesday is. Okay, when you spell it that way, I know what that means. Even though I have to admit, I didn't know that was as offensive to white people as it is. I had no idea. I had no idea. I went to like elementary school with white people. The classes that I was in was, virtually all, it was like white people, me, and two other black people. That was, what I'm saying, in elementary school, those are the classes I went to. In elementary school, they wasn't calling each other that. By the time I got to Schwab, it was very few white people there. It was very few white people there. So I didn't know a whole lot of stuff that white people, but I didn't know that it was as offensive to them as it is. Myosha says, I don't think they find it offensive because they use it all the time. Oh, they do. They do find it offensive. You call a white woman that, the world is going crazy. I genuinely, I don't even know when I figured it out. I was well into my 20s. Well into my 20s. Because, what I'm saying, I be around black people. I've never heard black people use that word. Never heard black people use that word. See, and I know it's like exceptionally offensive, and because Ron is asking, what word? What's offensive? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Myosa spelled it out for y'all. That's the word. I don't even know if I can say it on that. I feel like I can say it because to me, it means nothing. To me, it means nothing. But to them, if you didn't know, if you like me, and you didn't know, when you was older, you hung around black people, I didn't hear the word. Myosha says she heard it constantly, and that's why she don't think they find it offensive. But you grew up around rich white people. And, those type of white people, that's their word. That's their hardcore word. But I really genuinely didn't know. Genuinely. Jason's telling y'all what the word is. When did you find out, as a black person, when did you find out that was, number one, a word, and number two, offensive? Like I said, I was well into my 20s, 26, 27 maybe. Because I just, kind of didn't kick it with white people. Except for, like I said, when I was in elementary, I had some jobs around white people. But, people ain't typically using that language on the job. And Brent said, I found out 2 minutes ago. Ron says, me and you about the same age, and I was well into his 20s too. Yeah. Jason says, I'm 48. Oh, so you said this is just now you finding out. Sierra says it's a very British term. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. Anthony was an early teen when he found out. Yeah, that's just, complete. For white people, the white people who are checking this out, Terry says 2003, working in the hospital. That's when she found out. 2003. Listen, let me tell y'all, white people listening. Jason knew in middle school. He knew in middle school, all right? White people, we don't know. That's one of those words that culturally didn't cross over. Culturally, it didn't cross over. Just like the white slang word for a penis. The white slang word for a penis. That's the black slang word for a vagina. And I heard that in middle school. I heard a group of white guys talking about their C words. And I was thinking, I was like so confused. I was super confused because it just don't cross over. Culturally, it didn't cross over. You're talking about a pickle. And I'm talking about, chicken. Chicken fighting. I had no idea what that meant. When I was growing up and we was trying to get some chicken, you know what I'm saying? We was trying to get with the girls. We was trying to get with the girls, and then I heard dudes talking about, and I'm like, what in the world is going on? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Yeah, there's certain words just never really crossed over. Certain words never really crossed over culturally. So yeah, when you saying that stuff, trying to be offensive and calling somebody that, a lot of times it don't have the same effect. It don't have the same effect. Janice says, I never heard it referred to as see you next Tuesday, but I've always known the word, the C word. Because she wrote CSEEUYOU next Tuesday, I was like, I had no idea what that meant. I had no idea what that meant. Now, if she would have wrote like Myosha did, the C and the U next Tuesday, that's when I kind of figured it out. Hold on, where you at, Diane? Diane said, don't call a white female the C word because they ready to fight. Yeah, but I bet you could call a sister that and she'd be like, whatever. It don't hold that kind of power. Okay, this car dealer in Northern Kentucky who was, what happened? Little baby. Oh, I gotta find it again. It's this little baby. No. Northern Kentucky. Says I have to be able to. Northern Kentucky car dealership owner indicted on human trafficking charges. Yeah, a Boone County man, he was indicted after allegedly trafficking a minor and an adult. He's 51, his name's Jason Marley. Subjected, according to the complaint, he subjected the two victims to sex trafficking. In 2021, the Boone County Sheriff's Office Crime Suppression Unit began investigating after a complaint alleged that Marley's car dealership could be involved in criminal activity regarding vehicle titles. Another complaint said that he might be involved in illicit sexual activity with women. One of the women, they say, was a minor. The information investigators received claimed the women were being exchanged for illegal drugs. The Crime Suppression Unit interviewed the victims, and their stories lined up with the information from the complaints. He was indicted for the unlawful possession of methamphetamine, knowingly inducing a minor to engage in illegal activity involving a controlled substance, and forgery. He was indicted on human trafficking, commercial sexual activity minor, human trafficking, commercial sexual activity, unlawful transaction with a minor, first-degree controlled substance, forgery, and possession of controlled substance, first degree. He's being held on a $1 million bond. Okay, that is terrible. That is terrible. But I really only brought that story up because when I saw that story, it only reminded me of one thing. But before the one thing that it reminded me of. Again, that's terrible. That's horrible. People should not be trafficking anyone. It's horrible. But I think I know one dude that would still go buy a car from him as long as he got $1,000 off. I think I know one dude that would still buy a car from him as long as he got $1,000 off. Like, what? You be trafficking minors? As long as I get $1,000 off of my new truck, then I'm fine. That's it. That's the only reason I brought up that story. And see, that's the kind of stuff that makes you, like a one-issue person. Like, we can't be friends. Why? Because you okay with certain stuff. So we can't be friends. Let's see. No, the little baby not down here. The little baby not down here. Somebody said I'm raunchy today. I haven't said anything raunchy today. Somebody brought up a word. I was not even aware that word was a thing until I was a grown man. Yeah, a free bed liner and some running boards. There he is. Somebody that would be okay with that. Okay, let me see. I got right around 20-something minutes left. I don't know this woman's name. Is it Bundchen? Gisele Bundchen? Is that how you pronounce this lady name? Look, I'm not all that heavy. It was a little piece of lint flying by. I had to blow it. I'm not all that heavy into, like people relationships and all of that stuff. So I don't necessarily want to talk about the specifics of their relationship. Number one, I don't know all the specifics of their relationship. And number two, I really don't want to get into it in that way. But I do have a few questions. Hold on, let me see. Where are we going? According to TMZ, which I wholeheartedly believe, TMZ has become a very credible news source, and I wholeheartedly believe them. Gisele Bundchen left Tom Brady, declaring that their marriage is over. Apparently, this is not the first time. Sources connected to Gisele told TMZ that she has threatened to divorce him several times over the years, and it was all over football. Their sources say the sticking point for years has been that Gisele wanted Tom to get out the game, and although she's publicly talked about her fear he would develop CTE, she's upset with his NFL schedule, which takes him around the country for 6 months out of the year. They're told she simply hates it. She's threatened divorce in the past, each time over football, but they were able to work things out. So this time, things are different. They've both hired high-profile family attorneys in South Florida, and her lawyer has repped a number of celebrities in high-profile divorces. Their sources say the lawyers have already began working on terms, including a property settlement. Now, I don't necessarily want to talk about them. I don't necessarily want to talk about them. But how crazy is it? If you marry, I've heard women make this argument for years about something different, which I might bring up. If you marry a man who plays professional football, he's been playing professional football for years, why are you threatening to divorce him because he plays professional football? Because the schedule is the schedule. That was the schedule when you met him. That was the schedule when you married him. And that's been the schedule. To me, I hear things like, and it's not just football. I hear stories of, Ron wants to know, am I taking calls? Ron, I'm always taking calls. The number is scrolling across the bottom, 717-5464. 513-717-5464. But if you marry a man who's a workaholic, and he was a workaholic when you married him, and he became wealthy and he's trying to maintain that wealth, what about spending more time with me? You knew what you was getting into when you got into this. You knew what you was getting into when you got into this. And I've always heard women talk about men who, this is one example of things that I've heard women talk about. Like, he want me to not dress this way. But when he met me, I dressed this way. Why would anything change? What? Same concept, kind of in reverse. Same concept, kind of in reverse. Janice says, I'm willing to bet one of the reasons she married him was because he was a football player. Yes. But now, and apparently, like TMZ has said, and again, I believe TMZ, this ain't the first time. Now, okay, granted, I believe he's up there in years to be actively playing football, so maybe she thought, he'll age out and then we'll have this wonderful life. But that's not right. She is not being fair. R. Wash says she has more money than him. She don't need Tom Brady. I don't know who got more money than who. If she got more money than him, good. She should pay him alimony. He should get half. You know what I'm saying? Give him half. Because what she's asking for is not reasonable. I'll be honest. I think if we started, like, as society, okay, 2 people get married, whatever. But if the court started giving men half of what that woman got, as opposed to the other way around, people might think twice. People might think twice. Anthony says, we don't know what he might have promised her, though, E. What difference do that make? If I marry a woman and she dressed sexy as hell, and she be like, when I get married, I ain't gonna dress like this no more. And then we get married and I'm like, now stop dressing like that. And she like, I was dressing like this when you met me. But what about the promise you made? That ain't nobody going for that. That's a grown person. She can dress how she want to dress. What about the promises? Don't matter. I look at this the same way. If there was an agreement to retire and then he unretired, I'd be mad too. You'll be mad, but you'll keep your mad ass there. You'll be mad. sitting around in the mansion, mad, traveling the world and the country, mad. But you'll still be there. You'll still be there. Jason says, Janice, you're wrong. She makes way more than him. She a supermodel. I have no idea what she makes, so I can't say. I can't say. But I would imagine that the relationship was mutually beneficial. Like, it ain't always about money. I mean, okay, she might be a supermodel, but she's an aging supermodel. And my guess is marrying a Tom Brady raises your stock a little bit. That's my guess. Her marrying Tom Brady helped her career. Look, I ain't big on the model scene. That's why I said it's my guess. I'm not stating it as a fact. Not stating it as a fact. But my guess is, he upped her profile. Women initiate divorces 70% of the time. And I think if it's over some BS, look, if he cheated, give her half his stuff. Give her half his stuff. He putting his hands on her. Give her 3/4 of his stuff. Send him to jail. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But her complaint is, and listen to her complaint, ladies. He just won't stop going to work. He won't stop doing the job that he loves, making money and supporting our family. That's her complaint. How many of y'all ladies, just curious, have ever considered divorcing your husband because he won't stop going to work making money? Gisele was already Gisele before she married him. No way did he up her profile. It was already up. Yes, he did. I didn't know about her. I know about her now. You know why I know about her? That's called upping your profile. People who didn't know about you, no matter how successful you were, people who didn't know about you, now they know about you because of this. Ain't that like the definition of upping your profile? That's the definition of it. He upped her profile when he married her. Yo Underwood says, I didn't know who she was. Right. He upped her profile. Wash says, it's a known fact. It's only known to people who pay attention to it that she makes more money than him. You just doing your superiority thing. Who am I being superior over now? They both make more money than me. What are you talking about? Yes, she married him because he was a football player, and he probably married her because she was a famous model. The problem is he had promised to retire a couple of times. So what? So what? Mayosha does not understand what it means to up somebody's profile. She was considered one of the most beautiful people in the world. She's not. If anything, she upped his goofy profile. She probably did up his profile as well. But no doubt, there are a number of people who don't follow all of that modeling stuff, who had no idea who she was. And he married her, and a whole lot of people who had no idea who she was immediately knew who she was. Again, by definition, that's upping her profile. That ain't too hard. That ain't too hard. Joseph or Justin. Money ain't everything. That woman want her husband. They got plenty of money. Brady tripping. Stop it. Stop it. How you gonna tell a man? Or even in his case, think about if this was the opposite. Think about if this was the opposite. If Tom Brady was divorcing her because she refused to quit modeling. And Tom Brady like, no, I want her to stop working and stay home. How many women would be losing their damn mind? Why does she have to quit her job? Why does he's threatened by her success. Why can't he? Stop it. The man is doing what he love to do. Like I said, he gonna age out. He gonna age out. I don't know how old he is, but they all age out. How many more years Tom Brady got? I don't watch the NFL, so I don't know how successful he is. How many years Tom Brady got in the NFL? How many years? She can't wait, 3 years? If he got that long? Because he's been in the game for a long time. When I was watching football, he was winning 5 Super Bowls. So she can't wait. Come on. Come on. Just think, ladies, honestly, if Tom Brady filed for divorce against Gisele because she wouldn't quit modeling. Because she wouldn't quit modeling. Oh, here come the excuses. In her job, she's not getting her brain scrambled. She hurting her back. You know what I'm saying? I listen to models from time to time talk about how brutal it is and they have back problems and all of that kind of stuff. She hurting her back and he like, her back is hurting. I don't want my baby back hurting. She need to quit her job or I'm getting a divorce. Y'all women to be going crazy. Absolutely crazy. Brady ain't taking care of them kids besides money. That's real life. There's no way for you to know that. You don't know what he doing. You don't know what he doing. If my wife said that, I'm through. We got plenty of money. Okay. Jerica says COVID divorces are real. Okay. Veronica said he 45, can't see him lasting beyond 2 more seasons. So she can't wait 2 more years. She can't wait 2 more years. TC says she get off at 5. Janice says a back hurting versus being like Herschel Walker is a no-brainer. Is it? If she ain't mobile. She can't do things. That's kind of important. Because her back hurt. Oh, my back. That's kind of important. She want too much control. That's a problem. Yeah. Yeah. Livingston, you know how women are. His wife made plans and Tom keep prolonging. All right. At least she can think rationally, says who? She want a divorce because her husband goes to work 6 months out the year. That's rational thinking. That's rational thinking. She want a divorce because her husband goes to a job that he loves and plays at a high level 6 months out the year. So she divorcing her. She is Janice, Myosha, TC. She is divorcing her husband because he go to work. She's divorcing her husband because he go to work. These last years he planned is for her now. You damn fool. Your Wonder Woman says selfish. That is selfish. That is selfish. And again, Janice, you can come up with an excuse, but that man is doing a job that he loves. And if he said to her, I don't, for your safety, baby, because I love you, baby, I want, you need to quit your job or we getting a divorce. And she like, but I love modeling. I love modeling. And he like, well, I worry about your back, baby. Quit or I'm getting a divorce. Janice, you can't tell me you wouldn't be on here talking about how he's insecure as a man. You can't tell me that. Oh, Diane. Come on, Diane. Nah, she divorced him because he said he was going to retire. That means because he's going to work. She's divorcing him because he's going to work. Diane, I don't know if you married. Diane, are you married? Are you married, Diane? I'm shocked. Myosha, I'm on her side. How you gonna promise to retire and then don't? Now, while I hope it doesn't happen, what happens if he gets popped hard and ends up a vegetable? She'll be fine. She'll be fine. Diane says she is married. So you would divorce your husband because he wanted to work. That's what you're telling me. You would divorce your husband because he said, you know, baby, I said I was going to call it quits, but I really love this job. You would be like, well, I'm out of this bitch. You can find another bitch to do your... Hell no, you wouldn't. Because that's not reasonable. That's not reasonable. You're supposed to be there to support him and his dreams and all of that kind of stuff. Diane talk about if it's an agreement. It don't matter if it's an agreement. It don't matter. People change their minds. So you want to pull him away from what he loves so he can resent you. That's what women say. I'm going to resent him because I didn't get to follow my dreams. That man following his dreams. And he ain't got that long to do it. Let a man follow his dreams. Let a man follow his dreams. I can't believe I have to preach this to women. Again, flip this. And Diane and Myosha and Janice and TC and any of y'all other ones. I'm not sure if this greatest storyteller is a woman. Kind of sounding like one now. And I was telling this story. If I was on here talking about, you know what, Miss Livingston, you know, she got a job, she make money, but I want her home with me. So I want her to quit her job or we getting a divorce. Emanuel, does she love her job? She love her job. And she probably only got another year or two to do it. But she promised me 5 years ago that she was going to quit this year. And she's still working. If she don't quit, I'm getting a divorce. Well, she love her job, Emanuel. Why can't your ego take a woman, strong woman, working and doing what you supposed to be supportive of her? And that's what y'all would be saying. That's what y'all would be saying. And y'all know good and damn well, y'all would be mad at me. I would be the evil dude. Look, this is a sad afternoon experiment because I had to file for divorce against Mrs. Livingston because she won't quit her job. And I want her at home with me. So we getting a divorce. I know she love her job. And she probably only got about another year to do it. But I want her to quit. I want her home with me. You're such a bad guy. You're evil. Your ego is it. Oh, y'all would be going crazy. Y'all would be going bonkers. Oh, but if a woman do it, no, but see, that's different. It's different. He promised. It's different. It's different. His health. His health. It's different. His occupation is different. Come on. Come on. Don't be mad at me, Janice. You know I'm telling the truth. You know today if I said I'm divorcing Mrs. Livingston. Did she cheat on you? No, she didn't cheat on me. She's a wonderful wife. But she be going out of town on business trips, being all successful and shit. Like she at the top of her game in terms of her business. I'm ready for her to quit. Hold on, say that again, Emanuel. She goes out of town on business trips. She love her job, so she go out of town on business trips. She is literally at the top of her field in business. I want her at home with me. I'm divorcing her. Y'all would be like, yeah, Emanuel, that's because she did promise. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I've been seeing the conversation surrounding this, so I just wanted to make it clear. She kind of wrong. She kind of wrong. And he should get half her shit. He should get half. Football is not a regular job. Neither is my wife's job. It's not a regular job. So I want her to quit or I'm getting a divorce. If you add it all up, other trips out of town, doing business, I know she's doing business, and she's the most successful person at her job like ever. And she love it. But I want her at home. Come on, y'all know I'm not lying. It's no comparison. It is 100% a comparison. 100%. Kenny says that's petty. Move on. I will not move on. I will not move on. Now, my ocean wonder, why do I hate women? What have I said that makes me hate women? Other than it's wrong to try to force a man to give up the job that he loves, that he's very limited at, and that some people say he's the best to ever do it, to be at home. How is that me hating women? I love women. I also love equality. She's divorcing a man. Y'all know this is crazy. Y'all know this is crazy. She's divorcing a man because he want to work. And he's very good at what he do. I don't like double standards. Unless they work in my favor. I don't like double standards. And that's what this is. Facebook said, who said dude hate women? Myosha. Myosha. She's probably over there watching this while drinking a bottle of wine. She do like 2 a night. She only do it because she like the taste. I'm just teasing. She don't drink 2 bottles of wine a night. I'm just teasing her. Dwayne said, why do y'all hate men? Why do y'all hate men? The double standard is real. I'm divorcing his ass. Why? Why are you divorcing him? Because he want to work. That's what it comes down to. He should get half. He should get half. That's what he should get half. And y'all said she make more money than him anyway. He should get half. He should get the kids. Because he going to be retired in, a year or 2, y'all said? He should get the kids. He should get half. He should get some alimony. He should get some child support. Because he going to be, possibly unemployed in a minute. And of course, the houses. She could get one. Because it's just going to be her anyway. Give her the small one. I'm getting divorced because my husband want to work. She got problems that a whole lot of these women out here wish they had. I got a man who go to work consistently, likes his job, is very good at it, and makes a whole lot of money doing it. So I'm leaving him. All right, y'all. I got to get ready to get out of here. I just like pointing out the hypocrisy. Y'all know one day a story going to come up of a man divorcing his woman because he want her to give up her career. Because that's what she's saying. I want you to give up your career. A story is going to come up where a high-profile man wants a high-profile woman to give up her career in order to stay with her. And all y'all women on here talking crazy gonna be talking about how wrong that man is, how insecure he is, how unsupportive he is, how unloving he is. What a bad man. What a bad man. First of all, we're merely going on what we read or heard. You don't have a clue why. TMZ said it. It's true. I believe it. End of discussion. TMZ don't be lying. Don't be challenging TMZ, Janice. Remember I told you, you got to have a line. My line with you, Janice, is people who don't believe TMZ. What reason they got to lie? They the first persons told us Michael Jackson was dead. Nobody else knew that. Come on, Janice. Don't be unreasonable. Don't make me cut you off. Actually, I need to cut all y'all off because I got to get out of here. Hey, I appreciate y'all hanging with me. It's been the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. As always, I hope something amazing happens in your life today. Something life-changing, all right? Until next time, Emanuel Livingston, the King of Talk. I'm out, y'all. Peace.